Welcome to Mallett and Michelle on Dripping Springs, hosted by me, Michelle Lewis, and Steve Mallett, who the day after his month of no sugar, he will go full Godzilla looking for bags of M&Ms.
No M&Ms will survive.
No, I could put them anywhere.
Yeah. And Michelle Lewis, who almost quit working for me 3 times.
Last week?
This week.
So I finished your joke.
And she's worked for me for 6.5 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh.
That's right.
Well, I'm excited about this show today. I'm always excited, but this is going to be a good one. We've got Dee and Dana, Dee Marsh, Dana Mihaly from Marsh and Mihaly Marketing Group coming on here in a little bit.
Good friends of both of ours.
Yeah, love them. Met them through the Dripping Springs Elite Real Estate Professionals. They're our marketing team for that. And I think I'm in trouble, though. You guys, the three of you get together, it's chaos.
I've had many cocktails with these ladies.
I know you have.
It was delicious.
Yeah. The secrets may come out.
Well, no cocktails will be consumed during the making of that podcast.
As far as you know.
As far as I know. You don't know what's in this Chick-fil-A cup. So I had something I wanted to throw out there that most people don't know. I don't think that most people know that your birthday is on Valentine's Day.
My birthday is on Valentine's Day.
You are a Valentine's baby. I did a little research about people that were born on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Yeah. And according to modern astrology, and I know you're a huge crystals modern.
I am. All I know is I'm an Aquarius, and that's it.
Yes. So did you know that being born on Valentine's Day, it actually makes you a firm Aquarius? When I wrote it down,
Did you just say that,
It's
Michelle?
what it said. It said firm Aquarius.
I'm not going to edit that out.
Wait, it says, puts you in the camp of a philanthropist and a peacemaker. And
I'm not a peacemaker.
Yeah, I think you can be. You don't play both sides of the fence.
No, I try.
No, but I think also it also makes you, this is Aquarius qualities, high strung. Possesses analytical intelligence that allows them to tackle complex problems. Okay. Yes, true. Great verbal skills, as evidence here by the podcast. And you have an edgy charm. Yes, because you put up with me as you
that is true.
Almost 7 years. But also, and I quote, can be a total nerd. So apparently you're a nerd with firm Aquarius qualities.
You know what's funny about that? You said high strung. The biggest compliment I get in my real estate career is that I'm a calm and composed negotiator.
Oh, really?
Not in my head. I'm not.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
You heard me on the phone. I hang up the phone like. Rah, 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 rah.
Well, did you also know that Valentine's Day birthdays are becoming more and more common? I thought you were like a rare little bird.
How can that be?
Or a rare little Cupid.
So what happens 9 months before?
Well, I mean, aside from the 9 months before, I mean, do we need to have that discussion right now?
Yes, please, Michelle. Okay. Explain that to me.
I will. Yes. But since more and more women are having elective C-sections, they are choosing that day
that makes sense.
to have their
My
baby's
mom
birthday.
always said I was the best Valentine's present she ever got.
You probably were the only Valentine's present she only got. But I also read, or I was researching, I wanted to see who shared your birthday, celebrity-wise, and they were boring. Nobody really famous or that I would know, except, do you know?
I have no idea.
I share a birthday with Britney Spears. So she's a hot mess Hot Mess Express, but Carl Bernstein. And a lot of people wouldn't know who that is.
I don't know who Carl Bernstein is.
My God, Steve. He's the Watergate journalist.
Oh, yeah. Woodward and Bernstein.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you had to say the two names together. Otherwise,
okay. Well, actually, when I read it, I thought it was
tapes.
Bernstein and Bears. I thought it was the children's book.
Oh, God.
So anyways, but I thought it was really cool. I think it's cool that you're born on Valentine's Day. And I think that all of those qualities that I brought up, it also apparently makes you an extreme sugar addict, too.
Oh, God, that is the truth. I have struggled with that pretty much my entire life. There's no brownie left behind in my household.
So when you were a kid, did when you were passing around little Valentine's cards, did people give you Valentine's cards and birthday cards, or were they like Scrooge, Mallett?
Mostly they were just Valentine's cards.
Yeah.
But you know about the sugar thing. When I was growing up, my mom would make a batch of brownies for the family. and a batch of brownies for Steve.
It was Steve brownies.
Yeah. And one time she burned them so bad they were like rocks. She'll tell you, I still ate them.
I bet you did.
I did. I still ate them.
What was your go-to birthday cake?
Chocolate filling, chocolate frosting, chocolate candles, M&Ms on top. Chocolate.
I'm not a chocolate fan.
I love chocolate.
I like white chocolate, but I'm just not a big dark chocolate.
So I have been trying to break the habit because it's a habit, but I still I'll eat certain salty foods and then just I get this intense craving. I've been fighting it, but
why fight it?
Because
you don't have much longer to live.
Seen, yeah, I know.
So just enjoy.
Yeah. On Valentine's Day, I turned 59. The end is nigh.
Just enjoy.
Yeah. Well, that's funny that you bring up Valentine's Day because what I wanted to talk about today was each state's most Googled relationship questions. Believe it or not. So in the old days, if you wanted to know when you should tell somebody that you love them, you'd go talk to a trusted friend or maybe your parents or your best friend. Now people go on Google. Do you know what the number one most Googled relationship question was in 2021?
This is a family-friendly podcast, but I'm just going to say, according to Chris Frickle, we have a discretionary label on our podcast. But what would that be?
How to kiss. That's the number in Texas. It was
in Texas. What is that? West Texas?
Yeah, I don't know. So there's some other ones here though that blow my mind. How to get over a breakup. Best dating apps, which that one makes sense to me. How about when to say I love you? Can you imagine going to Google and saying, "Hey, when do I tell him I love him? When do I tell her I love her?"
Yeah, that's stupid. But
yeah.
but we
How about this? When to text back?
Immediately.
Yeah. You got to go to Google to figure this stuff out.
Are you not just thrilled and thank our lucky stars that the internet and phones or camera phones were not around? I mean,
I would not want to be dating in the world. At our age, I would not want to be dating in the world the way it is right now.
Both of our younger daughters have only known the internet growing up. Our boys did not, right?
Yeah.
So Colton, Logan, right. I think Logan.
Very, very little.
What did, maybe 6th grade, they got their phone, 7th grade, something like that. I can't even imagine having all of that at their fingertips and my parents tracking me where I am.
Oh, I know.
Because I grew up on the beach. And so who the heck knows where I was?
Yeah.
Did you sneak out of the house when you were a kid?
I was a hard child to raise. I got in so much trouble.
You're a hard adult to raise.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom could tell you some stories.
Let's next on Mallett and Michelle, Steve's mom.
Yeah, we should have her on. I did get in trouble once, and I was with about 4 of my friends. I'm not going to tell you where we were, but it was not a good place to be. And
why aren't you going to tell me where you were? I can't
tell you.
Were you in a foreign country?
I was in Spain.
You were at a church, weren't you?
No, it wasn't a church. It was a bad place to be. And my mom had to come pick me up. And she walked in, and I was with, I think, 3 of my friends, and we were all sitting there, heads down, and she looked at us and she said, "You assholes."
You're disgusting.
Yeah.
Now I want to know.
I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty savvy with the internet. Actually, I can watch.
Michelle, you are a stalker on the internet.
I am.
If you do any real estate deals with us, we know everything about
I know
you.
everything.
Everything.
I'm pretty good at that. But I can also I've mastered, like I was saying, the art of watching a movie and knowing. I'll Google all of the cast members and the plot as I'm watching the movie, in case.
Oh, we do that. Yeah. Well, that actor looks really familiar. Where did we see that actress? What show did we see her in? And then figure that out.
Well, and if the movie sucks, and Todd will look at me and he'll say, "Is it worth watching the rest?" And I'm like, "Oh no, he dies at the end." And he's like, "Okay, let's not watch it."
Bad.
So, as far as with internet skills and stuff, so a lot, how do you use the internet? I mean, obviously in the real estate world, that's every day. We're hardly at all using any paper, right?
Yeah, our paper file. Geez, when I got into real estate, I'd go to closings with sometimes 2 or 3 files that were 3 or 4 inches thick.
Yeah, everything's DocuSign.
When we bought the land, or when we closed on the building, the construction on the building here, it was probably 8 inches worth of paperwork. And now our closing files are just
electronically signed,
like a 1/8 of an inch thick.
Yeah,
everything's electronically signed.
A lot of people use it as a teacher. That's evident during COVID. I mean, the poor internet was the teacher, to entertain you or to just as a helpful technological tool. Yeah, don't cut that out. But most use the internet to learn, to be entertained, to provide just-in-time answers, which that was an interesting the way to put it, and to connect with friends and peers and colleagues. That's kind of what I do.
There are some great things about the internet. There are some terrible things about the
internet. There are. I post, excuse me, on my personal page, I post family stuff, but in my stories, I post political stuff or memes.
That's okay. I just was on the phone with a friend of mine this morning, and we were talking about the state of the world and things going on as we do. And was talking about how, as I've gotten older, now that I'm 59, I'm kind of going down towards the end of things, not the beginning, how it is such a waste of time and energy to get riled up about something that somebody posts on the internet. I mean, what a waste of time and energy. There's no benefit to that, and nothing good comes out of that.
But sometimes it's fun to fight with strangers, but I also have to remind myself, don't fight with strangers. Don't fight with strangers.
It's fun until it's fun when you're doing it, because I don't know why that is. Maybe it's
the banter,
endorphins,
right?
But if you were able to step back and see yourself in that, like as a third party, it's such a waste of time. Nobody's opinion has ever changed on.
I have learned that from the early days of the internet, from where I am today. Yeah. But in my stories,
except for
what,
people's opinions are changed by social media, but they don't know it's happening. So things are being posted and put in their feed that they're seeing that influences their opinions, but it's more like manipulation.
Oh, we could go down the deep, dark conspiracy theory. But I mean, the way the algorithms and social media and media control, and you are being shown what they want you to see, not what.
That's exactly right. So Michelle goes to Louis Vuitton in the domain, and all of a sudden she's getting all these fancy things in her Instagram feed about.
Yeah, for sure.
That manipulation stuff is not good as far as I'm concerned. But as you were talking about the internet, I was thinking about another article that I saw about on Google, what was the most searched "how do I become" term. How do I become whatever?
Steve's assistant.
Yeah, how do I become Steve's assistant? No, nobody wants that job, Michelle. It's only you. What do you think the number one how to become search was on Google in 2021?
A sexy beast.
Yeah. How do I become a sexy
real estate
beast?
agent?
It was real estate agents.
Right now.
We don't have enough freaking real estate agents?
Oh, bless. I've had several friends who think this job is very easy, and I'm just going to get in real estate, and they don't understand it. Not only is it the educational commitment that you have to put up front, but the financial commitment.
A lot of people don't get it.
The liability, and just because you're putting in sometimes $3,000-$4,000 into a property to market it, who's to say that your seller is going to pull out?
Sometimes they don't sell. It looks a lot easier now because everything gets multiple offers, and it looks like it's
for the most part
job.
If you're pricing it right.
We're not a real estate show, but it's sort of timely because these things are popping up. But what most people don't know is 80% of the people that get into real estate don't make it past 1 year.
Interesting. 90%
don't make it past 2 years, and less than 5% are able to make a career out of it.
How many people have we seen come in and out of these doors?
You know what? Sometimes when I sit and think about it, it might be over 100. In what? How long has it been you've worked with me? 7 years?
Almost 7 years. Going on my 7th year.
It's probably over 100 people that, and you never can tell. I mean, when Jenna came to work for us, she was sharp and she was motivated, but I told her, I said, I'm not working with any new agents. And she came on and was one of the best agents we ever had on our team. You never can tell. But then there have been others where we thought, oh yeah, they're going to kill it, and they never did anything.
Yeah, I think a lot of times people don't understand the commitment, and I have often said this, is that the fact that we are very lucky. You mentioned the building. This is the Keller Williams building right behind McDonald's. You are a part owner in this, but the fact that we have an actual brick and mortar place to come to, where this is a business. We walk into that door.
That's right.
You have an office. I have an office, and we are not in some spare bedroom. Not knocking any of those agents that are doing the spare bedroom, but for us, that is what works for us.
It's weird how as an industry, we've tried to elevate. We want to be treated like doctors and attorneys and professionals, but then we are surrounded by people that like
Mickey Mouse sheets behind you.
Yeah, exactly, up on the wall, or people that I don't have an office. I'll meet you at Starbucks, and there is some requirements to be professional. If I was needed an attorney for a complicated real estate transaction, and the guy said, well, I can only meet you on Zoom because I don't have an office, or I'll meet you at Chewy's and we'll grab a taco and talk about your case. I don't have an office. I'd be like, how serious is this guy?
Yeah.
But
we're also pretty committed to our vendors too. And the fact that we have a lot of those, whether it's the title company or the real estate attorney at your fingertips, that you're able to pull that up and get those kind of answers.
Well, that's the thing that most new agents don't realize is I can't tell you how many times I've said, why do you want to get in real estate? And they say, oh, I love showing people houses and connecting people and making their dreams come true. I'm like, okay, well, that's 5% of the job. Now, let me tell you the rest of the job is, I've said this to you a million times. You wake up every single day unemployed.
You have said that. And it is so
every single
true.
day, because your job is to go out and find the next deal. Establish the next relationship that leads to a transaction. Otherwise, you don't make any money.
Yeah.
So.
Well, nobody does. Yeah. Not your seller, not your buyer.
Not your assistant.
Not your assistant.
Your operations manager.
Shout out to Michelle.
Yeah, operations manager gets no joy.
Well, I think in line with talking with that, I'm interested to hear what Dee and Dana have to say as far as marketing strategies and what they see the future is.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear that too, because they have such a wealth of knowledge and years of experience, and they've done wonders for us with the DSE, the Dripping Springs Elite. So we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back and have Dee and Dana with us. So sit tight.
This show is brought to you in part by the Mallett Integrity Team, serving Dripping Springs, Austin, and the surrounding areas of Central Texas since 2004. When you need the best real estate advice and service, give them a call at 512-829-2062 or email them at mallettintegrityteam.com.
Clients.
Hi, Dee. Hi, Dana.
Hello. Good
Thanks
morning.
for coming on.
Hi.
Hi, Double D's.
I was just going to say, we're not going to call you the Double D's.
I can say it.
Oh, you can say it. Okay.
That was going to be our website URL, but yeah, we decided against that. We are in the branding business.
That's a great brand. Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Excellent.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're on, and we want to hear what you guys do. What's your business? But then we're going to talk about some other stuff. So what's your business?
We do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And we focus on small business. So marketing from traditional to emerging, digital, and everything in between. So if you need a brochure, we can do that. If you need a logo, we can do that.
Small to medium-sized businesses, primarily here in Dripping Springs.
Okay.
So we don't have to,
Marketing.
turn right and.
Yeah. No kidding. Marketing and PR, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are really good at PR. Well, both, but you're very good at PR. Michelle and I always wonder when you guys sleep.
Yeah, when does that? I asked you that last time. I was like, do you ever just lay on the couch and just sleep? No.
And now, since you've asked me that, now when I do, I think I should text Michelle.
You should.
I should report into Michelle.
A couple of Sundays ago,
nap.
that's all I did.
As everyone should. Everyone should report into Michelle.
I think once we finally face plant. I mean, we're out for a while.
Face plant.
Yeah, we're at 90 miles per hour, and then we're in idle. There's no in between.
Well, Dee, I first met you when you were down at the storage facility. who shall not be named, Voldemort Storage, we're going to call it. And you were great at what you did. And I think that you got great public awareness from being out there. And then when that opportunity changed and shifted, tell her how y'all's relationship started.
I sort of fell into the storage management position because I needed something that was full-time. I wanted it in Dripping Springs or close to where my kids were in school. And I have a storage background because my dad owned a storage in my hometown for my whole life. And so I call myself the storage and car wash princess of Midlothian, Texas. And so I had storage in my blood.
Self-titled.
Right.
Self-titled.
But I did not expect it to be, the kind of job it ended up being. I was going to be a relief manager for a couple of days a week. And then the full-time manager left. And then my boss said, hey, what do you think about this? So I embraced it. He let me run it like I owned it, which was wonderful.
And I think everybody thought you owned it.
Yes, a lot of people did. And I got to make decisions and he supported me. The whole mission was about serving the public. And the owner, has a very servant's heart and was very committed to that in all the stores, not just the Dripping Springs location. And so I was there a long time, like almost 7 years. But at the last 2 years, we had managers that just left, and I was managing the Wimberley and Dripping Springs locations. So I was in a bad need for some help, and Dana and I had met back in PTA.
PTA, People to Avoid, isn't that what that stands for? I'm sorry. We have sons the same age, and so we ran into each other. Gosh, they must have been in 5th grade. They're in college now. And so we always hit it off. We had similar backgrounds. We didn't realize it at first, but we did, and we both started out in the local TV news realm and had marketing backgrounds. So, Dee and I knew each other for several years, and then she recruited me.
I did. I said, I need some good help. I need some smart, good help. And then we just hit it off. We started working together and clicking. And then when they decided to sell, and our boys were both seniors, we didn't want to start a new venture working for somebody.
You're both seniors. Seniors as in?
They were seniors in high school.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you were both seniors. I was like,
no, our boys were
I'm the only senior in this room. So.
And so it was one of those where, okay, let's do this. Can we do this? And then one of the great things we did was we had Michelle recommend us for Dripping Springs Elite.
And here we are today. Look how far we've come.
That was
That's
like
right.
you were brand new.
Brand new.
New.
That was 2.5 years ago.
Wow. I want to know, do you have any juicy storage stories that you could tell, like on
I do.
Do tell.
I know one.
I do too. I know one.
Tell it.
I don't know if you can tell that one, but tell the one you can tell.
I came upon some people fornicating.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one we're talking about.
Is a Midlothian girl allowed to use that word?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because I moved to Austin and Dripping Springs, so of course I am.
You mean in a storage unit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I can't say that I caught them like in the hot and heavy, unfortunately, but I heard the giggling and the talking, and this was on the 2nd floor in the climate-controlled building.
Well, of course, it's Texas.
Classy.
I mean, you're going to take your date. It better be the climate control.
And it was a 5 by
I want to
15
know
unit.
I want to know how this relationship started. Hey, babe, you want to meet me in my storage unit? I got a bed.
Well, we didn't have any motels except the one on Ranch Road 12.
Well, it just made sense to go down to the storage unit then.
It was $125 a month.
On the next
Wow.
episode of Storage Unit
Can't beat
Sex.
Maybe there was like a whole kind of thing going on there. Maybe there were people coming and going for all you knew. You just caught them once.
I think there was a weekly lunch.
Oh.
Lunch.
And
Lunch,
so
question mark.
wasn't the garage
Quotations.
door or whatever open
Slightly.
slightly? And then when didn't you end up seeing?
I walked down the hall and I heard some voices, but I didn't see anybody. And then I saw this unit, that was 4 or 5 inches up. And I was like, oh, somebody must have left their unit, up. So I went to try to push it down and it wouldn't go down. And so I was like, oh, there's something stuck, So I got down on all fours. Here I am on all fours. And I look and I see 4 socks, 4 feet.
Oh.
And I went, oh, somebody's in there. What are y'all doing?
Oh, jeez.
We're just getting stuff.
Yeah, I bet they're getting stuff.
That's exactly what they
Give
said.
us a second. Oh my gosh.
Then I had to go back and look up on the security to see when the passcode was used and how often. And I did my investigative work, and I found that they were coming in once a week during lunchtime, getting stuff.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Did you put them in storage jail? Like
Storage
what do you,
timeout?
Yeah, what do you do?
I wonder where they ended up. A tent somewhere.
I don't know. Down at the.
Yeah. Once you
I don't
kick
even
them
know.
out.
I don't even have something smart aleck to say about that. I was a little.
Well, I knew the one who rented the unit, and she may have worked at a Dripping Springs municipality.
Oh, what did you do?
And
better.
So when she came in, she was coming in to give notice that she was moving out, and I was like, "Oh, that's so good."
Yeah, you dodged a bullet on that. You guys are talking about you have similar backgrounds, but you're both so different, and you complement each other. You two remind me of me and Michelle. It's like, you guys fill the gaps that the other one has, and you both bring your strengths, and together you're even stronger than the two of you.
Do you want to
really
choke Dee on a daily basis? I didn't know if that was.
I didn't say exactly like you and me. I said similar.
So I'm just bossier. She's sweeter.
See,
and I'm bossier.
I'm Dee. You're Dana.
Oh, so you're
I think it's the opposite.
No.
Oh, everybody always wants to be D.
No, because I'm the oldest. Wants to be D.
It's Marsh and that other girl. What's her name?
Marsh.
Mihaly.
Mihaly.
We're going to have to do a whole segment on how to pronounce Dana's last name.
Mahalo.
Yeah, Mahalo.
That works.
Mahalo.
Well, Dana also, we were looking at your background. We asked you to kind of give us some cool things about what you did in the past. And one of the things that stuck out to Steve and I was that you got to fly with the Thunderbirds. And I want to know is, did you vomit? Because I can't even
You mean
ride.
actually ride in one
You're
of
like
the...
I did.
up in the air.
I did.
I can't even ride in the front seat
I
of
could
a
have brought
car.
the
So
tape in, but I think it's 3/4 inch from like 1986. So it's been a while.
how did that happen? How did that from your?
I used to be a reporter, and they were coming into town. It was when I was in Springfield, Illinois, and they had a slot for a reporter. So I went up, and then interesting thing was my then boyfriend, going to be husband, my fiance, was going through training to be a fighter pilot. So at one point I had more time in a fighter than my pilot husband, boyfriend. Yeah.
Bet you love that.
But we actually have a friend of mine, local resident here in Dripping Springs. Her cousin was, what are they? Is it commander or whatever of the Blue Angels? What is the head guy of the Blue Angels?
Probably
what do they call
commander.
him? Commander. Yeah. So that's kind of a cool.
I just interviewed the Blue Angels and toured the plane. I didn't get to fly.
Well, okay.
How did you do, Dana?
I was a complete waste of jet fuel. I didn't throw up, but I really, really wanted to. And so partway through the flight, they hand the controls, or so they say, over to you. And I just flew it like an airliner. I mean, I did. That's what he kept saying. Are we in an airliner? Yeah. So,
no loop-de-loops or anything?
No, nothing. No, not. No. I was over it. Yeah. So I was glad to get both feet back on the ground. But it was exciting and something I'll never forget.
That sounds like
Probably not.
a fun story. And then Dee, you had something strange happen to you. You were at the staging site of David Koresh's.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
So I worked at Texas State Technical College.
Oh, yeah. It's with my husband.
I didn't know him.
Yeah,
then.
you probably dated him. Yeah.
I might have. I'm sure I danced with him or tried to get him to dance.
Have you seen Todd dance?
That's
You
why
probably
I said. That's why I
Todd.
said. I worked there for 13 years, and because it's a state agency, then it was the closest place that the ATF could get to the Branch Davidian campsite. So they just took over. They moved into our dorms, and we had national media on campus every day. It was so long. It was crazy. So then when I did a consulting gig after that, then I always introduce myself as, I'm one of David Koresh's wives. I have a child by David Koresh, just because of the shock factor. And people are like, what? But yeah, it was something you just, like, you live through it and you go, gosh, like, that should have changed me desperately, dramatically. But it was.
What year was that?
The early 90s.
Yeah. That changed a lot of people, I think.
Mm-hmm. 93, I think. Wow.
it always cracks me up because I've known you, both of you, for a couple years now, but when you sit down and do one of these podcasts, we really get to know the people that we think we know, but now we've got to know some things about you that we never would have probably ever come across in a conversation.
Dee and I talked about, I should have done her little questionnaire and she should have done mine. That would have been fun.
Dee's
husband Todd did yours. Oh. Did one for you.
John should have
D's
filled one out
Todd.
for you. Yeah, we should do that.
I don't trust him.
On family, Todd put for Dee, you have a dumbass husband.
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah,
and
we call him the husband.
And you dated him in high school, but you met in middle school,
right?
Well,
true love meant to be. That's for sure.
How long?
But we were both married to
married.
8 years, but we were married to other people for 20 and got divorced and reconnected.
Well, the same for me. The second one is the one. Yeah. The first one's a journey that helps you get to the right one, right?
Yes.
Trying to find the silver lining there, Michelle. You're giving me that look.
I was trying to see where you were going to go with that.
I don't know where I was going to go with that. Let's talk a little bit about marketing. What draws you guys to marketing? Why do you like doing that?
Well, I think it's a little bit surprising. It's a lot of writing, to be honest with you, content cultivation. And I love to write. I always have. So for me, that's where I know I'm a nerd, but I really enjoy that. And also the digital aspect of it. I decided it would be a really good idea at 50 years old to go back to college. Because when I graduated from Texas Tech, guns up, it was before the internet was created. So I had a little bit of back work to do, which was great. But no, something new every day. Technology is always changing. As Dee can attest, we've had some issues with our own website recently that made challenges. Yes. So I think that, and we can commiserate with our clients. We can understand their struggles because we go through them as well, being a small business.
Yeah.
So, and I think you, being a reporter, Dana can write so fast. You have to do that on the spot, pull in all these different sources. And I've never seen anybody as quick and talented, because those are both important. Because you can be quick, but horrible. Yeah. She's so quick and so talented at the same time.
Thank you.
That she just doesn't have a lot of time to write because she's busy building websites and fixing Google My Business.
Well, I tell you, and if it weren't for Dee Marsh, we would not have a business because she came, from Loctite, where everybody knew her as the hometown hero. So she had all the connections. I mean, it was instant. In an instant, we had a business. So
I started at the news, and I hated it. I ran camera, and it was always bad news.
Oh yeah.
And I was making $3.30 an hour running a camera at, an affiliate in Waco, Texas, and I thought there's got to be more. So I pivoted over. I used to never use that word, pivot.
Pivot? That's a good word.
Pivot.
It's so COVID 2020. I pivoted to PR and marketing, radio promotions, and I loved it. So I just think that it's a passion of promotion and getting to share good news. And so I do lean a lot more toward the public relations and community relations because that's where my heart is.
Well, you're a PR queen for sure. And because you're a writer, one of the questions I had is what is more important, what you say or how you say it?
It's all important, right? But I have a PR background as well, so it's also how you spin it. There are many, many ways to say something. Yeah. So,
but it's got to be, they have to be aligned. I am so happy to be here.
Yeah.
That's what I said, but did I sound happy to be here? So what's why they have to work together.
And what motivates you guys to stay so involved in the community? Like we're always talking about every Saturday. It seems like every Saturday, Sunday, you're out doing something, post some neighborhood thing or some gala or event or what motivates you to
live
stay?
Music.
How do you keep yourself so motivated to do that?
Red wine?
No. Vodka? Dripping Springs vodka. I think it's just fun. I mean, that's...
So you never get ready to do one of those things and go, really would rather stay home and watch TV?
I think sometimes we get tired, but you get energized when you go to those events. And, thanks to Dee and this business, I'm getting to meet so many more people. It's just great to get out there. So.
There's so many things too that are fundraisers, and you may not feel super motivated about the social aspect. I know Steve and I, we've talked about that. Yeah. But you get there and then you see the good and like going to the Foster Village Gala and all the money they're raising for all those kids and those stories. Like, if that does not make your heart swell up, then you are just not human.
That happens to me all the time. There'll be something coming up that I'm obligated to go to, and I'm not looking forward to it. But at the end of the night, I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I came to this. I had such a great time.
Right.
That goes back to the Irish goodbye.
Yeah.
Remember that was
sometimes I lose that battle and I just end up not going, like you said. What did you call it? The Irish
goodbye.
And there was something
the Irish
else.
Hello. Oh wait, was it the Irish
It's
hello?
the Irish something where you don't even show up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That would be him. Steve.
As far as marketing and PR, what kind of mistakes do you see people, because these are mostly small and medium-sized businesses, what kind of mistakes do you see people making on an ongoing basis? What are the most common ones?
I think we face a lot of challenges with clients in terms of trying to get across that social media should be social. It should not be all about advertising. It's a soft sell. Mm-hmm. And it's not something that you're going to see immediate return on investment. It's a long game.
Right.
Can you repeat that?
You talking to me?
Did you hear what she said?
I'm totally on board with that.
It's a long game.
Yeah.
It's a long game.
Well,
and even though it's social, there's still the business aspect.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you have to pay to play. And that we're seeing more and more of that too. So it's great if you have great content, but you have to put a little budget toward your social media.
Yeah.
I think, in the old business school background of, okay, here's this, we're going to roll out this plan and it's going to cost us this, and this is the return we're going to get, and we can measure that in dollars and interactions. It's a lot harder to get that on social media. It's almost like it just goes out there and you have to trust that the money's going to come back to you some way, but it's really hard to track it, right?
Well, I mean, we have analytics that we can look at, and all the fancy tools, but it's like, I think it's like any marketing, right? It's always going to be a challenge to really pin down your ROI. Yeah. But when you think about it cost wise, you really can't find anything that's more cost effective.
I know.
Even if you're, spending $50 to boost, posts, you're introducing it to a whole new audience. Mm-hmm. So,
well, you also never know what is going to be that one thing that is going to speak to people. I mean, look how stupid TikTok is half the time, things that go viral and you're like, that's so stupid, but I'm going to watch it 5 times because it is stupid. So I think, I just hit Dana.
That's all right. That's all right.
I think that kind of being smart about it and having professionals like you guys and kind of knowing what the trends are and, how to approach that. It is definitely a game, even with us with this podcast, trying to figure out like what subjects are going to speak to which people, and some are going to tick those boxes and some aren't.
And you can't ignore it. You have to work it, more than just posting something really clever or a great video. You have to feed it. So
consistency is huge. That's what I lack. I'm really hard on being consistent. If I come up with some great thing, I can do it for a couple weeks, and then inevitably we get busy with our real estate stuff, and then I let it go away, and it's hard to pick it back up again.
And that's really why we have a job. Because people are focused on running their business. They don't have time a lot of times for this. So that's what we do.
But even if we create the content, we tell them you've got to engage with it. So come back with a comment, come back with a question to a customer. Because of that engagement, it just helps it along. And
share it with a group, join groups, be constantly looking for ways to grow your audience.
And do you think that if someone is just first starting out, opening their business, whatever genre it is, aside from the first call being to you, what do you recommend they do as far as getting involved in the community, social media? I mean, kind of, are you walking through your clients those steps, those little baby steps that they need to take?
Sure, because we don't want anybody doing a bunch of social media if they don't have a good, strong website. And they don't have to have an elaborate website, but they have to have that as the backbone. If Facebook went away tomorrow, the website would be the only thing that they had. So feeding your website with content, and Dana can speak a lot more to that, but that's one of the things we say, don't don't jump in there doing too much until you've got your basics covered. Even like Google My Business is huge. Google Business Profile.
Yes.
We've changed the name.
Right. But that's essential for local SEO. And that's primarily what we focus on is the local SEO, right here in Driven.
It's search engine optimization, and you pay for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
You pay for it to Google. Or are you...
Well, you pay Marsh and Mihaly.
Well, but I mean, is that like paid advertising, or is that optimizing your website so that you get the most?
SEO is not paid in terms of advertising. Right. That's
creating a website that attracts search results.
Right,
basically.
Organically. So blogs, that would be an example. Anything that adds content would be search engine optimization or using keywords. You've heard all of that. And that game changes from time to time as well. That's been evolving too.
And I'm just sitting here thinking, I mean, we all have pretty good business backgrounds. I'm thinking if somebody's listening and they're thinking about starting up some small business and they're thinking about calling you, what's that first conversation look like? Here's the things that you guys need to start doing this week to grow your business. What does that look like?
We have a questionnaire. We always ask about competition, who their competition is, why they think that they're going to be unique, what's their unique proposition, unique selling messages. And then we try to get them to think about that, like their brand versus other brands. And if they're brand new starting out, then we, of course, recommend a logo and some identity branding building. And then the next steps.
Do you help them with logos?
Yes.
Yes. Everything traditionally that you can think of, from logos to branding to collateral design, brochures, that sort of thing. Okay. Community relations. A lot of our clients want to get plugged into the community. So we find opportunities for them to do so.
And it's always better if it's something that they're already naturally tied to. Like one client, they love the senior center, the Dripping Springs Senior Center. And so that's an easy fix. Okay, you love that, you have a passion for that. And then they come across authentic in everything they do. If we just said, hey, these are the ones we think you should do, you'll be able to tell the ones that they're not really having a heartfelt connection with.
That's why I think you guy girls are so unique to this area, because you both are very plugged into this community. And so I did not want an outside agency kind of telling me where they think I should be plugged in, because they're probably going to tell me a lot of Austin. And I know this is that a lot of times the Austin people don't understand our Dripping Springs businesses. They don't understand the unique challenges that we're faced with out here. And I guess you can kind of really speak to the heart of a Dripping Springs resident and say, you know what, for your business, I think you should really get plugged in over here, or become a Founders Day sponsor.
This is a very relationship-based community, Absolutely. Which you discovered that at the storage unit,
Voldemort.
Which shall go unnamed.
Voldemort.
Which is funny to me, because your marketing was so good that when we needed a storage unit, we went down there and got a storage unit, and then 2 weeks later you were gone, and the new company was there. It was like it just kind of happened overnight.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
And now we're stuck there at Voldemort Storage.
I'm so sorry.
Well, it's interesting that they stumbled upon our unique value proposition, didn't they? The fact that we're local and that we want to remain local, and we're out in the community anyway, so we might as well market it, right? It's what we do.
We go to these events and fundraisers and things so that we can advise clients on that too, especially if it's somebody new and they've never done Founders before. So, you can go big with Founders, or you can start out small, or you can just go and be a citizen. Just go and enjoy it, and figure out what you liked about it and how you want to get plugged in. But there's a lot of money that you could spend if you came in and then, having to answer that question of, okay, well, I don't really feel like I got much out of that. Yeah. So I always recommend starting small, like starting where you can be just a participant, or just, an attendee.
Well, and sometimes people get locked up, right? They plan so much and they overthink it, and then they do nothing. I see that a lot in the real estate business, where an agent will go, I'm going to do all this, blah, 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 and then they end up doing nothing. So that I see that. You mentioned competition. I was listening to another podcast this morning. And
Cheater.
Yeah, I know. Dang it. He has 11 million listeners though. So
we
got
have
a ways
11.
to go. Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're getting there. No, we have more than that. But the competition always gets a vote in how your business goes. And I think that gets lost a lot, that they do have great ideas, but they don't grow a business in a vacuum. That there are other people out there that want that same business. And when you start something, they're going to react. So it's almost like a battlefield going on. It's constantly changing. And I think a good business plan, and we have this in our business, you have to adjust and modify your business plan as you go, depending on what happens, what comes at you. And the people in business that can't adjust, they struggle, don't they?
Right. You have to be flexible. Mm-hmm. But that's the fun part. I mean, think how
That
exciting
is.
that is.
It
like,
is the fun part.
Oh, look, they're saying the same thing we're saying. They're offering a buy one, get one free because we started that.
That's right.
So you're doing something right.
Imitation is the purest form of flattery, right? Don't they say that?
That's right.
You know, I just wanted to know, did you know that when you moved here to Dripping Springs that you were going to become the unofficial mayor of Dripping Springs?
No, I did not know
So
that.
with the two of you, I know you personally. Dee is the person who fell in my pool while still holding her drink upright and didn't spill a drop but hit her head.
That's
but
impressive.
That
for
was
a Baylor
pretty
girl.
I sacrificed my body.
It was everybody just watched her and she's like, she didn't see the step and it was like
That
tuk,
would
tuk,
be a
tuk, tuk.
TikTok video I would watch.
It was pretty darn impressive. And they're like, "Oh, is she okay?" And she's like, "Don't worry, my drink is saved." So, but what are your guilty pleasures? Like, what do you like to do for fun, not work related? Not work related, Dana. Dee. What do you like to do for fun? She said, actually, Dana said she has no fun. On hers,
No, I
not
know that's
true.
not what
she's
I
like,
said.
no time for a third fun. She says she travels and you work. That's not fun. I mean, it is fun, but she loves her job, but no time for fun.
Well, no. I mean, we go to events. Those are fun. Those are really fun.
No
That's
work
work.
events.
Well, I could say running, but that's not me. That's just not
Yeah.
me,
Same.
Steve.
What do you do? Didn't you guys you were doing a workout at a gym, both of you,
still
right?
are.
You're still doing
yes.
that? Oh, good for
we
you.
work out with our personal trainer, Karina.
That's what keeps you sane. If you don't
Yes,
do
true.
that,
That's true.
You'll lose your
Well,
mind.
Dee
in
is
this
a
business.
live music person. I know that.
Yes. I love live music.
And you have the cutest outfits.
I love movies because I was a radio, TV, film major.
Yeah.
So I always love movies, love all the crazy binge watching of these different shows. So I love TV. I love movies. And I love live music. But I can't help it. Like when I'm there, I just can't help not sharing that Madison Rogers was at Dreamland and she's so awesome.
I saw that. I know.
Like,
It's
turn it
hard
off, turn it
It's
off.
hard to turn
I
it off.
don't know who that is.
You need to know.
You're not one of the cool people. So
guess
sorry.
Dee will
not.
introduce you to a whole new musical genre, as she did me. Texas
that
country.
right?
Texas
It is
hill,
Texas
hill
red dirt.
country,
Texas red dirt.
country.
Yep.
Yes.
We
So-
have that in common.
Before we got your information sheets that you sent us, just based on what I know, Dee was a cheerleader.
And still is.
This is in my mind. This is what I thought. Dee was a cheerleader, and you were a 4.0 student.
Oh, yes, I'll take that all day long.
You were, weren't you?
Did I mention I went to
honor
tech?
rolls. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
She's a sorority girl. She has fun too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I had some fun. Yes. No, I was not a 4.0,
You're
but
right,
thank you for your
Michelle.
faith.
I'm Dana.
Yes.
Actually, I didn't get very good grades though, but
Thank
That's
you.
okay.
Thank
She
you,
can-
Jesus.
She can still do a toe touch, too. I've seen her in the gym. No, it wasn't a toe touch. What was it?
You're
a
so cute.
Herky or something.
It was a fall, and it made it look like a toe touch.
Yes.
Dee's son is a cheerleader at the University of Arkansas.
Right.
Right? That's right. And he was a cheerleader at Dripping Springs with my daughter.
For 2
So,
years here. And then he's doing it 2 years there. And then he's switched over to basketball. He's going to be hopefully a basketball manager.
Awesome.
Because he wants to be a basketball coach.
And your daughter is
Sophomore.
Sophomore. And she plays basketball here.
No.
I thought she did.
I was trying to pay her to play.
That's right.
She's tall. She's almost 6 feet tall and she won't play.
Holy cow.
I know.
And your kids, one goes to Stanford. Am I getting that right?
One's at Stanford, yes.
And one's
yes.
going to UTSA,
UTSA.
Roadrunners. That's
yes,
where I went.
Yeah, we're keeping her.
Yep.
Oh, did you really?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Roadrunners.
You're
I
a
love
runner.
those.
I love that.
Yeah, what is the I don't know.
No, it's a beep beep, isn't it?
Oh, is it beep beep?
It's beep beep.
Yeah.
Why am I the only one that knows that?
That's
I
from
didn't know
Wile E.
that.
Coyote.
Oh yeah. Beep beep.
yeah, they have
Do they
shirts.
do beep beeps? like in the games? And we're going to
No.
find out. You're an awful UTSA.
I am.
mom.
I'm easing my way in.
You've got some time still.
But she's a senior this year.
She's a senior at the high school.
And
Yes.
well, wait a minute. She just had a huge accomplishment, and I saw it not only on your feed, but I saw it on DSISD's feed. And I want you to talk about that beautiful, smart, talented girl that you have there.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, she's a master arguer.
Ooh.
And she's even recruited her boyfriend into debate now, which is interesting to watch the two of them argue.
So she won a debate.
Really?
We'll say exactly what it was that she won because I'll get it wrong.
Well, no, that's okay. No, she competes in many different facets of debate, but so she's on her way to state. So I'm very proud of her. Yes.
Do you know when she's actually arguing with you and when she's practicing debate on you? Can you tell the difference?
Great question.
I can tell the difference. I can suss it out. But no, she's tough.
So do
She's
you
tough.
ever sometimes go, no, that's an argument, and you can stop right there?
That's when I just pull out my argument, which is I'm the mom, and that's why.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I said so. Yes.
I always try to figure that out with my kids too. Are they practicing something they learned in school here, or are we getting in trouble? What kind of stuff puts you in a bad mood when you're at work?
These questions were not on our sheet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're going to throw you some curveballs.
You just thought you were going to bring a bunch of M&Ms, and it was just going to be a
And we were
usually
gonna
works
let
for
you
us.
off the hook.
I would say that occasionally, not real often, but occasionally we get a, hey, we want to do this. And I'll say, well, what's the budget? I don't know. Give me some ideas. And so I go full throttle, and then, and so we get reined in. So I would just say that I get really hyped up on those kind of things, and then I'm disappointed. And I would rather it be more realistic. Like, okay, let's spend $1,500, or let's spend $500, or give me maybe
Some guidelines.
tiers of.
Do you think that's changing your script with them to pin them down and say, look, I can't come up with a plan unless you tell me exactly how much you want to spend?
I do. I think that's part of the challenge. So I try to put, okay, well, if you want live music, we could do a band that's going to be this much, or it's a one person and a guitar, and that's that much. So I would say that it makes me cranky. I mean, I don't.
It's like anything else, any other relationship you have. We develop relationships with our clients. A lot of them are friends. They're not just clients.
Yeah.
So in order to kind of, you have to build that back and forth, that trust, that rapport, really to create the relationship. And those tend to be our best clients. The ones that, finally understand, okay, I'm going to trust you. This is your recommendation. We're going to follow the recommendation. I'm not saying we have all the answers, but that respect, that mutual respect, I think is key to any good relationship.
Steve says, let the experts be the experts. He
Well,
often
that's
says
true.
that.
I bet this is something that puts you in a bad mood. Somebody comes to you for your expertise and then second guesses everything you tell them to do.
Yes, that does happen.
I mean, that happens in my business too, but I bet it happens a lot to you because there's a lot of people out there that think they kind of understand marketing enough to comment on it or give you direction, and then they're telling you to do things that you wouldn't even recommend to them. And then the outcome is yours to own.
Right.
So how do you handle those kind of conversations?
It's very difficult. We actually, we realized early on we couldn't do everything. So we're Marsh and Mihaly Marketing Group. So we rely on outside talent or advisors. We just picked up a new advisor who is an amazing man who has spent many, many years in marketing. So sometimes another perspective or, something, wise words from somebody who's been there, that will help us. I think.
And follow our own advice. We trust experts.
Right.
There's people that know coding and they know Google ads better. So why wouldn't we bring them in and have them help versus us spending twice and three times as much time?
We battle that all the time in real estate, where somebody comes to us because of our experience and our expertise, and then we tell them what they should do, and they go, no, here's what we're going to do. And the outcome is very rarely good. And then sometimes we have to let them fail once or twice so that they finally go, okay, I'm not getting the outcome I want. I better listen to Steve, and then they get the outcome.
It even happens with good friends. Like, I do know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I do. You know who I'm talking about. Look at me now. You know what I'm talking about.
I see it. Yeah.
And then when their plan fails, then you just have to bite your tongue. I told you so. I told you so.
What is it? I don't know if I'm very good at that
No, not
part
so
right
much.
there.
Michelle,
Yeah,
Michelle, you're not very good at that. I can tell you.
I try, but I don't really try because it just.
I was watching something the other day, and it was like a car show or something, and some bad thing happened, and the owner of the business was trying to figure out who to blame. And I watched him running around the shop trying to figure out who to blame, and I was like, you are completely wasting your time. That's not what a leader does. A leader says, okay, this got screwed up. We need to fix it. What's the plan to fix it, right?
Right.
Not trying to place blame on why it went wrong.
That's the thing I've learned about you, though, too. It's like you're very solution-based. It's like if I come to you and we have an issue at work or, through real estate, it's like I can come to you and I can vent, but I also need to have a solution or what my position, well, maybe we should do this. I think when I started learning that about you, our relationship got better. Instead of me just going, oh my gosh, this client, da-da-da-da-da. And, you kind of put me in my place a little bit going, well, maybe.
Yeah, but the difference is when you come with a solution. If you don't come with a solution, then you're basically just throwing a problem at me and saying, hey, fix it. When you come, you explain the problem and then you have a solution. It might not be the solution that we all agree is the one to go with, but there is a solution. Maybe that's part of it works. But
and sometimes your solution sucks.
Sometimes it does.
And Michelle's the first to tell you.
Yeah. She's not bashful.
But that does push her to have her own solution.
It does.
No, I've tried to really empower her to have control over certain parts of our business that I don't second guess what she does.
I really appreciate that. I think he has learned my personality as well, and it has just kind of really made us a better team together. I think at the beginning, it was definitely a dance, trying to figure out what step he was going to take and what was going to come out of Michelle's mouth. Maybe it was that. Yeah. And I think we have married that relationship together to have a really good working relationship. The fact that I have worked with him for almost 7 years now is a testament to him, not to me. It really is. The fact that he has not choked me out is a true testament. So I'm very blessed.
How dull life would be without Michelle.
I'm with you. No, but we've had a couple times where she sat in my office and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't like where this is going. But anyway, what did we not talk about that you guys want to talk about? About your business?
We're always taking on new clients.
We haven't talked about the fact that we're so busy working for others, our clients, that we fail to check on our own stuff.
So I now own your website, and you have to pay me $1,500 to get it back.
We did. We had a client that emailed us and said, I went to your website and it's a pharma. It's a Viagra.
It wasn't even Viagra. It was Viagra. Yeah. So it was a knockoff.
Yeah. It was fake Agra.
Yes.
Fake Agra.
Gosh.
But it went to our junk folder. So the email didn't go to me or Dana in time. And so I was cleaning out my junk and I found it. So over a month, we had been hacked through our Google My Business. So if you went to Google and you Googled Marsh and Mihaly Marketing Group and you clicked on our Google My Business, yes.
How did you get it back?
We have wonderful programmers and people that work with us that, yes, because that was completely not in my wheelhouse. Now, since then, we have CMIT Solutions, who also is helping us. And so, yeah, you really need to, it's just so funny that, we're so focused on everybody else's sites and making sure that everybody else has what they need that we just
That was a wake-up call a little bit, wasn't it?
It was.
Oh, yes. And I said, we're going to have to assign someone. Todd, my husband who's retired, could do that. Just go check our website. Make sure everything.
Hey, do not let it interfere with him cleaning the refrigerator or the air filters, because his Friday tips are getting me through. Okay, so just back off.
Did you see he's starting to campaign for a Toddcast?
Oh, a Toddcast.
A Toddcast.
Well, we are actually going to have Todd. We are going to have Todd on because he's wonderful. He's wonderful. I love Todd.
He is. We're blessed to have him as part of the team.
Yes, he's full of information.
He's full of it.
Well, thank you both very much for coming on. We really enjoyed this. I was really looking forward to this one. I knew it was going to be fun. And you guys didn't beat me up too much, so
No,
that's
we
a
didn't.
success.
We'll save that for next time.
We think you're wonderful. We do.
You saying that to me?
He's going to play that on
hallelujah.
repeat now.
Yes,
Thanks.
just hang on. It's just going to go
on a
back and
loop.
forth, back and forth. But thank you both for coming
Thank
on.
you.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Thank you.
And great job with the show. It's we tune in. We tune in every time.
Well,
It's fun.
good. Thank
Yeah.
you. It's great
Yeah.
to hear it.
Now I have 13 viewers.
This show is brought to you in part by the Mallett Integrity Team, serving Dripping Springs, Austin, and the surrounding areas of Central Texas since 2004. When you need the best real estate advice and service, give them a call at 512-829-2062 or email them at mallettintegrityteam.com.
Thanks for listening.
If you have comments or feedback, please email us at mallettandmichelle@gmail.com.
Please follow us and leave a review.
Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Mallett and Michelle.
Thanks again for listening.